It is 9 a.m. Thank you so much, everybody. This is Javier. We got a couple of things that I wanted to cover with you here today at a couple of different levels. The first thing I want to talk to you about is something that we spoke about during our hour of power or half hour of power many, many months ago. A few people have been asking me for the material, and we usually don't make it available once it goes away, but we're going to do that this time because it ties directly into what, in my opinion, we all need to be doing right now. And that is, of course, taking care of our mindset, and in some cases, reprogramming ourselves because of all that's going on can lead a lot of people to doubt themselves. And anyways, I'm going to fly through this because I'm going to give you the actual book, and I think it's 63 pages or something like that, including the cover. So if this is something that speaks to you, we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you how to get it for free. The good news is that one of the many projects, we have a lot of projects to help people elevate their stock with their clients and so on. One of them is what you see here, which is the emergency binder that we've been getting a lot of positive feedbacks. One of the things that it's happening, it's being rewritten in its entirety to kind of make it our own. And one of the things that we're going to be able to do once we do this, it's a big project. Obviously, it's going to take a few weeks. But once it comes back, instead of it being 3 different binders, it'll be just one. And they just simply fill out whatever applies to them. But the best part is, if you notice at the bottom, it'll say compliments of, and then it'll have your name. We're going to make it available for like, I think $20 per person. It'll be in PDF format with your name on the bottom. A lot of people were just asking about the mamas, whatever, and they created it. I don't want to steal their credit, and I don't want to fight a copyright case. So it's just being redone. It'll be a few weeks, and you're going to be able to have your hands on it. So let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. Again, I don't know the exact price, but I want to say it's $20 a person or a book, and you can use it as many times as you want with as many people as you want. And it would have below that also another spot for your phone number, so they can access you if they need to for whatever reason. And so I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in. I'm doing it, and I'm paying the big bill just for my own personal use. There is an option to pay even more to make it editable where people can put in their name. And the reason for the $20 is once we release it, and once you buy it, who you give it to, you're going to be able to save it into a PDF again with your name locked into it, which is pretty cool. They cannot delete it. And so anyways, this is something that we're coming up with to help you customize the binder for your liking. So if that's something that would intrigue you, just go into the chat mode and give me a thumbs up or yes, just so I can get a feel for it, because mine is almost done. If I just use it for mine name and it's almost done, I'm trying to complicate things on the designers by having them be able to customize it with other people's names. But it's a lot more work. It costs a lot more money. And again, it would be something that costs only $20 versus hundreds and hundreds of what it's to recreate the whole thing. So anyways, let me know if that's something that is worth pursuing, because if not, mine's is done. It's not this one, it's another one, completely different look, clean look. I like it. And it's just that it's a pain to get it to be changing names, locking it in, and all this other stuff. But I think it'd be pretty cool if you can just for $20 for God's sakes, or 20. I don't know what it's $20. How it's $20? You can just go ahead and have it and use it as many times as you want. I'm getting 12 replies so far saying that, okay, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to ask you before we move any further. So I thank you for that. Oh, somebody's asking me. All right, hold on. Okay, got it. All right, well, what I'm going to do is, if you bear with me, we're just going to skip it. We're not going to do Facebook today. I'm sorry. I didn't do it earlier, and it's a little too late to do it right now, so we're not going to do that. But okay, cool. So we'll continue with that project. Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate that. Also, I want to just take a moment to wish Mr. Michael Hatter a happy birthday. I don't know if he's on today, but if you are on, Mr. Hatter, happy birthday. I think he turns 26, he said. But anyways, I just wanted to, share, my respect for you and well wishes. A lot of people ask me when we talk about different things, and I'll cover here in just 1 second the category that all of you fall into in my life. I wanted to also congratulate Mr. Philip Estes. He's the top personal producer month to date so far in the month of August with 4 personal applications, and congratulations. And tied for number 2 is Kathy Darugar, Brian Sam, and Daniel Dubak with 2 apiece as well. So I just wanted to congratulate him on a job well done. Moving forward, doing what a lot of people want to do and tend to do, you're doing it, which is to generate applications. And so that means a lot, especially during this time. That speaks volumes of your commitment to yourself, your goals. And brings me to the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about. A lot of people ask me, why do we do so much, or why do I do so much of the personal help or personal development training? And my answer is always the same. And that's where the money's at. And I don't mean like financial money. I'm saying that that's where ultimately the more permanent change lasts. And that's why I spent a lot of time with this. I actually had, and I'm going to show it to you right now. One of the things that I want to do is I want to help you as an individual, as a human being, as a person, be the best you can be, whether it be here with us at FFS. I hope it is. Sometimes things don't work out for whatever reason, move on. Well, at least you can go shine wherever you go. And it's nice to know that, I had some say in that by empowering you and helping you become the best version of yourself, both at the personal level and also at the, professional level. And, I came across this because I got a text, and this is from somebody, from Phyllis Hoff. Phyllis Hoff came to me probably at the worst possible time. She came to me approximately about 2007. And she came back then we were working with World Leadership Group, or WLG. And I told her, look, it's dying. It's going to die. It's not going to last. I think the future lies in financial services, life insurance to be more precise. And, she came in for mortgages. I'm here talking to her about financial services and life insurance, but she was very coachable. She had dreams. She wanted to retire. I actually have a copy of why this means so much to her. If you bear with me, I want to show you something that I think you will appreciate. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick so you can better understand of why it matters when you talk to somebody new, of why you want to find out what makes them tick, what brought them here, and what makes them them. And so let me see if I can put here, if I can find it. It was actually part of my presentation for the longest time. Let's see, Huff. Okay, let's see. Let me see if we can pull it up. And so anyways, one of the things that they wanted to do, like most people want to do, of course, is to be able to retire someday. And he was kind of concerned because he had gotten his 401k statement. And let me just see if I can pull this up, find it real quick. If not, we're just going to have to do without. And let's see. And so anyways, what ended up happening, it's a very interesting thing. I still use it. Well, I would say I haven't used it in a while, to be honest with you, because it's pretty outdated. But it's his 401k statement. And his 401k statement showed him his balance, which was like $120,000, which is not too bad. And let me see if I can pull it up. And so anyways, what it stated, let's see if I can pull it up. And so anyways, what was really, here it is, I think I found it, hold on. And what was really crazy about the whole thing, it's opening up as we speak right now. So let me just go ahead and pull it up. And so what was really crazy about this whole thing, and lo and behold, here it is. And so I'm going to share it with you. And I'm going to just show you, it's kind of small, so let me just go ahead and download it so I can fire it up in full. This is the old, and I do mean old, FFS BOP and so on. And so, but there's a story that goes along with this. I'm not just wasting your time. I want you to really see what I'm talking about. And so anyways, let me go ahead and share it with you right now. And so you'll see where I'm going with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let me see if we can see it. Oh, Real Secrets of Money, I think. Okay, it's this one. And you should be able to see it now. And so anyways, this is the old, and I do mean OBOP. This is from 2007. And hopefully you can see it. Let me just switch the view so you can kind of see it better. Just one slide is what I want you to see of where the story leads. And I'm going to show it to you right now once this thing lets me get out. Okay, so here we go. And so let me just show it to you right now. Step 2, here it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just one slide. And it's actually his slide. And I'm going to go right down to it. This is from a while back. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but here it is. And I hope you can see it. And that's his actual 401k statement back then. And if you see his age leading up until that age right there. And so anyways, I'm going to read it to you in case you can't see it. And it says, take a look at the chart on the right it shows that you could have $201,330 for retirement if you continue saving 6% of your pay until you're 66, the age you're first eligible to receive Social Security. Of course, that's only half the story. It's important to think about how long your money needs to last. If, for example, you're able to live on 80% of your pre-retirement income, when you retire, your savings will last you until you reach age 68. And so as you can see, the money growing, and then once he retires, it just drops like a rock, and he's able to retire literally for 2 years, and then it's over. Now, this is a guy, sharp individual working at Northrop Grumman, and it's just simply incredible. And so anyways, I set the tone because he came on board leading to, he wanted to be retired for longer than 2 years is what I'm getting at. He was an engineer at Northrop Grumman. So his wife, Phyllis, is the one that actually got licensed with us, and we went to work. And they did everything I told them to do. They made very good money. And so anyways, I share that with you because I knew that this person was very serious when they came on board because they really had a legitimate case to make in regards to what they wanted to do. And so anyways, I share that with you, but here's the second part of the story. And this is where I hope someday you and I are able to touch base as well. And so let me go back over here and share with you kind of how the story ends, if you would. And let me just wrap it up by showing you this one. And so with this one, damn it, I got it wrong, huh? With this one, now hopefully this one pops up the right way. Anyways, here's a text that she sent me, and she was just saying, you know, thanks, I know better than to ask you how, if you stop working, I don't think you know what, this is her telling me, I don't think you know what to do with yourself. I want to thank you for all the effort you poured into me. I loved helping all those people with their financial planning needs. The companies I worked with were very impressed with my knowledge and personal skills. And then I'll begin with what I learned from you. It's FFS technically, WG. You should put WG. You will always have a special place in my heart, my friend. And so, you know, they just retired. They bought their dream home in Texas. It's the size of a mansion compared to where they lived here. And, you know, they achieved it. They achieved it. And so to think that, you know, we had something to do somewhere in there means a lot to me. And it would mean even more if that was true for you as well. And so the reason that I say that is because, again, I spent so much time working on what I believe matters the most, which is personal development, because a lot of the times the best way to get from where we are to where we want to really be is by learning how to keep ourselves in check, how to keep ourselves out of our own way. We keep getting in our way most of the time, which happens to be the biggest problem for most people. And so, you know, what do you do when that happens? Well, the answer is you have to acknowledge the fact that you're doing that, number one, and then do something about it by simply changing it. And so what you're going to see here, and I hope you're able to see on your screen right now, I'm just going to keep it in this mode. I can't switch it for whatever reason. It's just that. So what I'm going to do is talk to you about a couple of things. Number one, real quick, it's this book that I wanted to share with you, which again, called Reprogram Your Mind for Success. And here are the chapters. It's pretty simple reading, 63 pages, like I told you. Chapter 1 talks about a dual mental detox before you seek to adopt a success mindset. And that's something that we sometimes fail to do. We bring the old version of ourselves with our own limiting factors into the equation and we lose. Assume that you can change. Failure is not to be feared, but prepared for it. Chapter 4 talks about goals, reveal your objectives, and empower you to achieve them. And so again, when this guy told me, look, I'm not getting younger. I can't go back in the time machine and start putting more money away, or what do I do? And I told him the only way you're going to be able to do that is by out-earning your way out of your problems. And he was able to do just that. Also, actively take control. Most of us do it more on the passive mode, where we're just kind of seeing where it takes us, what we do, and so on. It's going to kill you because you're going to lose the greatest asset you have right now, which is time. Chapter 6 talks about decide after enough deliberation and stick to it. A lot of the times we just keep getting ready to get ready. Chapter 7, believe that you don't know everything about your goals and must learn more. Chapter 8, believe and act like there's always a way through any problem, because there is. Chapter 9, successful people relish calculated risks. And it's a very interesting chapter. I would actually tell you to start there, chapter 9, and it talks about calculated risk. so many people are so afraid of what will they say if I try this business venture and I fail, or I end up being bankrupted, or I end up this, or I end up with that, or they foreclose on me. The people that make it are the people that are not afraid to take calculated risk. And the good news with us is really in FFS, especially with my team, you won't be taking too many uncalculated risks. They're going to be calculated, and they're not that big of a risk. I mean, worst case scenario, you're out your life insurance license fee and maybe your E&O insurance. That's about it. We don't require you to mortgage the house. We don't require you to put everything on the line. On the contrary, I tell people that I thrive with people that have something else going, so they don't have to feel that kind of pressure. And so chapter 10, best practices when adopting a success mindset. And so I'm going to go through just chapter 1. Here, let me show it to you right now. And what chapter 1 really talks about are the mental roadblocks that people face. And I'm not going to go over every single one of them because we just don't have that time. But, mental roadblock number 1 is that others are to blame for your failure. One of the most powerful things you can do is take ownership. Just make sure, see this, what somebody wants. How old were us when they joined Team Crusaders? They were, it said it on the thing, I think 60, whatever the statement said. It said his age. I want to say 60 or 58 or 60, something like that. Is how old they were. So, that's that. But like I said, the reality or the reason that this is so important is because I believe that step number 1 is to take ownership. Take ownership of your life, of our lives, our business. You are where you are today because of you and nobody else. The Haas are where they are right now. And I wish I could just show you a picture of the dream home they sent me. It's incredible. As you all know, hell, Texas, you can buy a mansion for $300,000 compared to California. But it's unbelievable. And I'm so glad that they actually get to live literally their dream, which the people that we ran with back then, a lot of them are still dreaming, but they're out of time. And for me to tell them that they still have hope to make it would be a lie. And so I don't deal in false hope. So again, we are where we are today. You are where you are today because of you, nobody else. Other people contributed, sometimes positive and negative, but it's ultimately you. And so that's really important, if you would, for you to understand, because it is the first step, the true first step in you taking ownership of your life and changing your mindset on a more permanent basis. Mental roadblock number 2, real change is impossible. I get that so many from what I would call older people, and I don't mean like old, but I'm talking about people that are just always fighting me with technology. That's not me. I cannot learn that stuff. I'm old school. I'm too old. And all right, if you really, really say that and you truly believe it, then you're right. I don't know what else is to tell you, but I can tell you that change is possible at any point in your life. And I think that that's why it's so important, regardless of how young or how old you think you are. Take a look at yourself. Take a look at yourself in the mirror and look at yourself and say, hell, where the hell did the time go, man? Where did it go? I mess with Marcella all the time. And, we've been together for 30 years now. And I asked her, man, I never thought I'd see you and me and us this old. I just never did. It's just incredible. And so look at yourself in the mirror physically, financially. Did you think you were going to be in this position at this point in your life 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Did you think you were going to just be cruising through life at this age, at this point, after so much work and so much money? And if the answer is, yeah, I thought it would be different, well, then take a look at it and understand that you still have time to change it. Roadblock number 3, your past mistakes define you. And I will tell you that if there was a contest for making mistakes in life, I'd take first place. And so just because you've made mistakes, all that really means is that you're human. Nothing more, nothing less. And they don't define you. And so it's only when you allow them to define you that they will define you. But as far as I'm concerned, I can tell you of all the mistakes I've made in my life, I understand that that's part of being human. And I personally believe that there's much to be learned from them. I do that with my kids. A lot of parents just want to talk up their kids all the time, talk up their kids and, just blow smoke and how great they are, And I don't do that. My kids, I love them to death. I'm very proud of every single one of them. Some have been doing really good. I have a registered nurse. The other one works in the pharmaceutical. I have the youngest one who's still kind of trying to figure out what the hell she wants to do. And part of her problem is that she has it too good at home. That's just the way it is. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke and lie to you like a lot of people do. And I do that with my kids. They've made very good moves. They've made very stupid mistakes. But That's part of life. That's part of learning. That's part of the maturity process, if you would. Because I know people that are 50 who are still immature when they were 13. And so don't be afraid to make mistakes. Again, nobody's made more mistakes on this webinar than I have, trust me, but I'm not ashamed of them. I just simply learn from them and move on. Another one is that mental roadblock number 4 says that can't be helped. For a lot of people, they just are convinced that they cannot be helped. And you got to be very, very careful with that, because what you're doing is you're really sealing off a lot of people, because I don't give up on people until they give up on themselves. And so once I know that they have given up on themselves, I move on. Especially during this pandemic, you move, you march, you keep moving forward. People fall by your side to the left and right of you because they've quit and they've given up. This is not the time to stop and try to resuscitate them. You move on. Unless they're your child or your spouse or something like that, just a general run-of-the-mill associate gives up on themselves and quits on themselves. Sorry, buddy, but I'm going to keep marching, because I got places to be, and me coming down to help you is only going to delay me, which I'm not going to be able to afford to do, especially not right now. So be careful with what you're radiating to people, because we all have a natural aura, whatever you want to call it, where we either attract people or we repel people. And sometimes we're off the wrong mindset. Like, I can't be helped. You're going to repel people that could have helped you. So you need to make sure you turn that around. Mental roadblock number 5, I don't deserve success. And that's very, very true. A lot of the times people that make it in life, they feel awkward because they stand out. And success isn't for everybody, because they don't know how to handle it, and they sabotage themselves. And so you got to understand that you do deserve success. I think that success is your duty. I think that when you understand that there's a lot of good you could do by you making it, it's going to keep you moving forward. So this is a very common toxic mindset. People, of course, would not admit to it, but deep down inside, they're thinking it. And I can't tell you how many people I've come across that feel almost bad when they start to win, so they revert to losing, meaning not making the money they want to make, just because they're not at peace with themselves. And of course, roadblock number 6, I'm perfect the way I am. That's why I told you that whenever I'm starting to work with anybody, the first thing I find out is, where's their mindset? Who are these people? Because there are 2 types of people that are out there. Those that feel that their best years are behind them, and those that feel that their best years are ahead of them. If I'm talking to somebody who is happy the way they are, and the best years for them at least are behind them, then I don't waste my time with people like that, because they're going to lack the courage, if you would, to press forward through the challenges that life is going to throw at us. Mental roadblock number 7, I need to change tomorrow. I need to do this, but I'll do it tomorrow. I need to lose weight, but I'll start tomorrow. I got to go to the gym, but I'll go tomorrow. I mean, we do this to ourselves all the time. And if I find myself working with somebody like this, I try to help them enforce the importance of doing it today, because I have to tell you that there's no such thing as tomorrow. Last night I went to sleep looking forward to today. I woke up I went to sleep looking forward to tomorrow. I woke up and I found today. So there's no such thing as tomorrow. Do it today. There's always something to do today. And that's why you hear me asking you all the time, show me your log. What did you do today that matters? What did you do yesterday that matters? And it's amazing how most people just cannot get themselves to do just that. Roadblock number 8, success and money aren't everything. And that's just something that we tell ourselves, just like a little kid. I didn't want that toy anyways when I didn't receive it, because we're just simply going to bow out of the challenge and the success fight that we're going to be involved in to succeed. Success and money aren't everything, but they rank up there with oxygen in life. You cannot help others when you need help yourself. I believe that we should all be financial pillars in not just our families, but our communities. There's a lot of good to be done, but again, you can't help others when you need help yourself. So it's very important for you to be on solid financial footing. And that's just the reality, that people think that, success and money aren't everything. Money is the root of all evil, when in reality, evil people are the root of all evil, and so on and so on. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. You can go to grabthefile.com. That expires tonight. So just go today and grab it. Grabthefile.com and get the entire book. And it's amazing how if you really take it to heart, you're going to be that much stronger as a person, an individual, as a business person, as a leader. And most importantly, share this with your people as well, so that they can also partake in the success that's coming your way. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is going to be how, I cannot thank Daniela enough for the training she did the other day on the annual reviews. But today I wanted to show you a little bit of technology, the website, and how I use it personally to sell the IULs in particular. So whether I'm talking about, let's just say, $1 million baby, as we call it, or an adult, I always do it a little different. I don't believe in brochures. I don't believe in all this other stuff. The way I do it is the way I'm going to show it to you right now. So let's just say I'm doing a virtual client presentation. I have 2 on Monday, and this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, well, first of all, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I can promise you that I'm not going to take much time. What I wanted to do today is just give you the overview that you asked for as it relates to what exactly we do here and how some of the products and concepts that we market can help you and your family achieve that peace of mind that so many people are looking for, especially during this pandemic. You know, as a matter of fact, our main carrier, which is what you see on the screen, National Life Group, they just paid out their first death benefit to somebody who passed away from COVID-19. That was actually a registered nurse out of New York. And not just because of COVID-19, but because of the uncertainties of life. But yeah, COVID-19 has led to a tremendous uptick in the sales of life insurance because people are saying, what if something happens to me? Do I leave my family taken care of, or will I leave them hanging? And of course, when most people think of life insurance, they really think death insurance because it only covers, in most cases, people when they die. What I'm going to talk to you about here today is the type of product that doesn't only cover you and your family in case you die, but most importantly, in case you live. Because sometimes, you know, the worst place to be in is we're not quite dead and we're not quite healthy, but we're sick. And there's nothing that life insurance usually does for you, but this one, it does. And so anyways, I want to start, and for this session, I'm only going to talk about one thing. I want to talk to you about what this has done for me. I don't believe in offering anything to anybody that I don't have in my own life. And so what I want to do is I want to show you how you're going to be able to log in, just like I am logging in right now. And I'm going to show you. This is just one of the multiple IULs that I have, term insurance policies that I have, and many other life insurance products that I have on my own life. But I want to show you just two today, and I'm not going to take much more of your time, about 10 more minutes. And what I want to show you is this right here. Now, this is one of the several IULs that I have on my life. And as you can see here, I have a death benefit of a $250,000 for this particular one. And I have a couple of other ones as well that gives me the peace of mind, knowing that not only when I die, but, you know, depending on when I die, my family will be taken care of. Because when I do pass away someday, minimum they're going to receive is $250,000 income tax free to make sure that they go on and move further down in life. I didn't leave them hanging, like unfortunately it happens so often. Here, I have $250,000 of permanent life insurance. As a matter of fact, I don't know if he's on, but if he is, I want to just throw some kudos out there to him. I'll bring him up here in just 1 second. It's a gentleman that had a potential client yesterday, but it's a tough sell. The client is 67 years old, is a smoker, and from a statistical perspective, is closer to death than ever before. So her policy is going to go from $200 a month next month, this month, this is what she's been paying, or $250 to $1,000 a month, which she can't keep. And so that's, of course, how they get booted out of term policies when they're more likely to need it. And so, she wanted to see if we can do something for it. And the reality is there's not a lot we can do for a lot more money because she's older, especially if we go with something that's like this, permanent. So anyways, $250,000 in the event I die, but also $250,000 in the event that I come down with some kind of critical, chronic, or terminal illness. So I don't have to die to be able to use this right here. Now, I've had this, and I'll show you here in just 1 second the details. I'm clicking on the details tab. And so what I'm doing here, 2015, July 1st of 2015. So it's 5 years now. I've had this bad boy for 5 years, exactly 5 years. And I have an accumulated cash value, or we would call the gross cash value, of $17,000, but only $13,600 will be coming my way if I surrendered or gave it up because of surrender charges, which I'm not going to get into right now. That's a whole different class. But the point that I'm making, Mr. or Mrs. Client, and whoever it is that I'm talking to, is that in this particular case, what's really, really, in my opinion, powerful here, and I'm going to do this and just move it around just a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and drag this a little bit, and I'll show you why I'm doing this. And so anyways, So 17,000. So now that's based on me paying, let's go to details or even transactions, $400 a month. So I've been paying $400 in premium every single month for 5 years. And so if you do the math, which I'm going to show you here in just 1 second, the power of this product lies in the fact that, now remember, the magic happens 12 to 15 years after you have the policy, because that's when your money starts to truly double. But even so, let me show you something right now that I think is pretty cool, because there's not that many places. Let me just pull this up. There's not that many places you can go to get this type of value. Now, what I'm going to do now, this is just a calculator. And so if I'm paying, you should know the math, but if I'm paying $400 a month times 12 per year, that's $4,800 that I've been paying every single year. Now, I multiply that times 5, because I paid 5 years exactly. That's $24,000. Now, out of the $24,000 I paid in, I have 17,214. So I'm going to subtract 17,214. So that means that it's only cost me $6,786. So once again, if we divide that by 5 years, just $1,357, which is about $100, a little over 100. We can be even exact. Divide that times 12 for the year. So it's cost me $113 a month. And the other almost $300 are right there in my account. So when you think, can I afford $400? The true cost of it for me is only $113 for not just the $250,000 of life insurance in case I die, not only the $250,000 of life insurance in case of the critical, chronic, or terminal illness, but on top of that, if I wanted to, there's the request funds page right here. I'm not going to click on it. If I wanted to get I just told you we're making some major, improvements here at the house. We got this, we got that. If I wanted to, I could click on that link, and within 3 days, I'd have my money out of the $13,000, because that's the surrender value. But the point that I'm making is that it's just simply incredible to think that you can have so much value. Now, I'll give you another example. I don't know how much you guys pay in car insurance, but I pay around $650. I've got pretty high insurance, but let's just say somebody pays $250 a month. We multiply that times 12. That's $3,000. We multiply that times 5 years, which is how long I've had this IUL. That's $15,000 that the client has paid to the car insurance company. And then, of course, you subtract the cash value that they've built up, which is zero. Well, it cost them $15,000. And they never even questioned that. Whereas over here, I have $17,000 in cash value, which represents almost 3/4 of the money I paid into the insurance. So if I was to bail out now, I'd walk out with $13,600, but that's not why I got it. And the power of this product shines when you keep it past year number 10, because not only do you keep 100% of the accumulated value, but there's zero surrender charges, which means you walk away with every single penny. And what's also nice about the IUL, as you can see here, $400 in payment, but look, $50 in interest, $24 in interest, zero in interest, $229 in interest, and on and on and on. That's the power of this product. Now, this is for an adult. This is just one of the ones that I have on my life. I want to show you something because I'm getting ready to buy another one of these bad boys. Now, what you see here is what I've been able to do for my granddaughter, and hopefully it opens up. I'm not sure if it's going to open up or not, so let's wait. There you go. Now, this one here is for my granddaughter, and I want it to shine by the time she's 20. She's in college. Parents can pay a little bit in the beginning, and then the rest will be available for her as well. And so in this example, you have an IUL, but this one's for a child. I just got this for my granddaughter. The same thing right here. The accumulated or gross value is $2,500, The surrender value is 0 because I just started it. But if you go here, this one I pay, let me see, let me go transactions. This one I don't pay monthly. This one I pay on an annual basis. So as you can see, this is the year she was born, 1200. This is when she turned 2. And this is the birthday present I gave her on top of all the other crap I buy her. But this is, as you can see, July, right here for her birthday, another 1200. So I don't think you need a calculator, but that's 3,600. Out of the 3,600, I have 2,600. Think about that. So what that means is that $1,000, and just for the hell of it, 1,000 bucks divided by 36 months, 3 years, just cost me $27 a month for $300,000 of life insurance, not because of death, primarily because of illness that could happen, including all the mess that we're seeing right now going on with kids now in COVID. It wasn't happening, now it's happening. But forget all that. I'm doing this because of this number right here. And wait till you see what it's going to do in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, where we're not even talking about, now this, by the way I'm structuring it, this is the last year I put $1,200 a year. I'm going to go to $200 a month or $2,400 a year next year. By the time she's 12, I will never pay a penny again. By the time she's 12, never, done. But yet she's going to have over $50,000 available just for the college years. And then if it continues to grow, my goal is to, even if her parents don't pay it, I'll pay for her college regardless, because that'll be her first home, all the way through a second home, all the way through retirement, which is simply unbelievable. And so once again, this is exactly what I'm showing you, what I'm sharing with you right now, that allows you to see the real numbers, if you would. And so when I'm talking to a potential client, I don't use generic numbers. Yes, we run illustrations, but then I want to show you that illustration in action, whether it be based on this one of my IULs or whether it be my granddaughter's. There's just no arguing with this. And the closing ratio can go from 60, 70% to 90, 95%. Then the only people you won't close are the ones that either don't qualify. I just had a police officer. He swears he's a jiu-jitsu instructor. He's this, he's that. He wanted a lead and all this other crap. And he got denied. I mean, but he's upset. It's upset, but I'm sorry, it's not due to any fault of my own. It's your body. You know, the lab came back and scared the hell out of him. And so anyways, you can see how that goes as well. And so the reason I share this with you, I'm not trying to impress you, but impress upon you that you cannot argue. You cannot argue with passion in action. This is passion. I love these products. And I can show you my term policies. I can show you the other stuff. I can show you, but right now I'm keeping it very simple, because I can tell them, look, listen, this is me 400. If all you can do is 200, we'll just cut everything by half. Very, very simple. Very simple. We can, if you needed more life insurance than $250,000 because of your 3, 4, 5, 12 kids or whatever, we can back it up with the term. That's what I did. I have multiple term policies. First one was intended to cover my kids until they were 20 something. That one just expired, but I had another one for another 20 years that I have until I'm 65, I believe is when it expires. I prepaid every year, so I know that the peace of mind is there and blah, 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 blah. But the point that I'm sharing with you, and I hope you understand, is how powerful something like this can be. Because now we're not just talking about a generic illustration, which is where we start. But when you say, let me show you mine. Let me show you what this has done for my granddaughter. As a matter of fact, today, my other daughter, the registered nurse, she's having her baby shower. Her baby shower is today. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to wait until that baby is 14 days old, because the baby has to be at least 14 days. And I'm going to send in a check for $1,200 for the first year. It's a boy. We know it's a boy. And to get his IUL. I'm not going to leave this in the hand of my kids. That's the whole purpose of the mistakes we spoke about earlier. I know my kids. They're in that first job, making very good money. They're more into that. You got to get a new car, a new truck, been there, done that. I was talking to, her boyfriend, and I was telling her fiance, and I was telling him the same thing. Look, man, I can give you the answer as a financial strategist. Don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. But part of the beauty of life is learning from our mistakes. I mean, that's just, I can tell you not to get the damn truck, but I know you will. And even though it might not make the most financial sense, that's part of life. It's not fair for me to take my almost 5 decades on this earth and throw them on yours 2 decades and expect you to make the same decision. It's not fair. So I would say take the money and invest it in another IUL, invest in this. But I kind of know how this movie's going to end because I've seen it before. And sure enough, they did it. And that's fine. That's what I'm saying. That don't hold yourself and others to these unrealistic expectations, if you would, that only let you down in the end. I understand that we're humans. We have to experience this feels almost like an impulse. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's an impulse, and that's kind of what gets us in trouble sometimes. But sometimes we get what we want. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I've got the same thing happened with me. We were going to actually either sell this house, we're going to move to a much bigger house, and then actually we were going to downgrade to a condo or something, just a town, something small, just myself, in a place like this. And then grandbabies started to arrive, and now, like I told you, we're having a pool installed just for 1 grandbaby, now 2, which is ridiculous. But that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of, working hard and playing your cards right. So you can do things like that. We were booking a trip to Cabo for next Wednesday through Saturday. And when we did that, so I was like, well, I don't know if I feel too comfortable. Then if you don't feel comfortable, cancel. I canceled it. I gotta go. We need to feel good about what we do. Otherwise, it's not worth it. And so here we are, just doing what we're doing. So let's see if you have any questions. One came in via chat. Yeah, and so, you do pretty stupid things, when you have grandkids involved. And then if you are in a position to act upon, it's incredible. It's just simply incredible how what they do to us. And so anyways, I hope this brings something to you. And let me hear your thoughts. I don't like to waste your time or my time. Does this do anything for you? Anybody? Let me mute everybody, or you can unmute yourself. So if you have background noises, please just mute yourself. Any questions, comments, or concerns about anything? Anything?
So, Javier, this is Val. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead.
Great. Is that presentation you just gave, is that recorded anywhere?
It is being recorded. It will be hosted on our YouTube channel, and I'll send an email to everybody.
Okay, cool.
Which brings me to one more thing. When you go to our presentation, it is very important that you go ahead and let's go here. Here's the website. It's very simple. Visit us on YouTube.
Yeah, that's where I was. I wasn't.
.com. Visit us on YouTube.com. When you go to visit us on YouTube.com, it is important that you click on the subscribe button right here.
Right.
And then a little bell will pop up. Click on the bell. When you click on the bell, every time a new video goes up, what it's going to do, it's going to notify you via email. If you want to see it, check it out. If you don't. But that way, we don't have to go through this all the time of, is it up yet? Is it up yet? Listen, we can't do that. That's it. So now I'm just going to put it up on the screen. Visit us on, and I think that's a pretty simple domain.
That's great.
.com. And that way you just simply get it. I get notifications from all kinds of stuff. I ignore most of them, but every once in a while I get something. They're like, oh yeah, I definitely want to know about that. And you just get notified. It's very, very, very simple. So let me just show it to you on the screen. Is this another question that I have for you? Is this type of training, do you consider it practical? I mean, I don't want to, does that make sense? Anybody, and I'm a big boy. I mean, I don't want you to think that it's me bragging about anything. It's just simply me trying to show you how I do it. And I just find it with a lot less resistance. Does that make sense?
Javier, I really appreciate the information. It's really going to help me to benefit other clients and stuff. So really appreciate how you broke it down and everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And so like you should have it on the screen. Visit us on youtube.com. Go there. I just showed you. Click on the subscribe button and then the bell. You can be subscribed, but yet receive no notifications. You want to click on the bell. So you want to make sure you go ahead and do that. Okay, thank you. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to turn it over to you guys to see if anyone has any questions at all before we wrap it up. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Anything at all? Anything. This is the time. I get emails and text messages during the weekend. It's very difficult to get to everybody, and I know I don't respond to some of them, but I always say, remind me now or tell me now, so that way at least I know what's going on. Last call for questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up. Okay, cool. All right, well, if no one has anything else, I just want to say thank you for all that you do. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I cannot emphasize enough how what we do matters so much to so many people in so many ways that you have no clue. It might not be like with Phyllis, 10 years later. And I've got so many other ones. I'd rather get those types of emails and text messages like the ones that I get. I got one 2 weeks ago saying, Javier, is there any way I can come back to the team? My biggest mistake was leaving. They don't provide me with this. And once that person started to say those things, I said, look, listen, I think we're too far along for you to even come back. Just because once you start making the reasons for your lack of success other people, I don't want to be that other people or other person in the future. And so I can just stay where you're at. I mean, doesn't work out, doesn't work out. I just don't like to take too many rebounds. That's just me, to be very honest with you. And I just don't do that. I think it's so much better when we're here for the first time. And I really want nothing but success for you in every aspect of your life, because ultimately, the ultimate goal for a human being on this earth to shoot for and achieve, it's what's called fulfillment. Some people are happy, some people are okay, but very few ever get to the point where they're truly fulfilled. And that's what I wish for you and your family. But the only way to do that is to give it all we've got during times like this to make sure that the success will be worth the efforts. Last call, questions, comments, concerns? If not, I just want to say thank you. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. And again, stay healthy. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend.